it is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10:30. It's Sunday. It's time for the Supplemental. I am here, but I wanted to be there. Cover that up. No. I'm right. Okay. Get to the chopper. All right. Let's see. I got over there and over here and over there. We got everything covered this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, T-Bone, from the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. It's Sunday morning. It's 10:30. It's time for the Supplemental. Every week we get together. We do three things. We talk about your national days of the week. We talk about a charity, a comedy, or a community event. And we finish it up with This Week in History, trivia style. That's what we do. We do it every Sunday, and we have a daggone good time doing it. A lot of frustration precedes the application, but that is not an issue any longer because we're live, and we don't let the little things get us when we're live. Get us anymore. Starting with your national days of the week. Monday, mañana, domani, tomorrow, Monday, July 22nd, it is, I've never heard of this before. A day to honor fun, tongue-twisting mix-ups. You hissed my mystery lecture. Okay, we'll try that. Monday, 22 July, is National Spoonerism Day. That's right, Spoonerism, something you've probably never heard of before. Here's how it works. You tongue twist they're tongue twisters. There's things that you mean to say, but they come out in a different way. And I believe you can have a good time on a Monday. Hello, Chris. I believe you can have a good time on a Monday morning just by mixing up your words. As an example of a spoonerism, you hissed my mystery lecture. You see, the letters got transcribed. Look, man, it's a Monday, okay? Do whatever you can do to make your Mondays a little more better. And that's what these national days of the week are all about. It's about celebrating every day, finding a reason to celebrate every day. And if you don't have a reason to celebrate, well, then here's an option. National Spoonerism Day. That's July 22nd, Monday. Moving on. The moving on for me is very fun because it gives me a great break in the edit. So you're going to hear me in the live version do that, but you won't see it. Unless you're live, you don't get to see all the other cool stuff we do on the Supplemental. Tuesday, July 23rd. It's National Yada 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 Day. Now, if you grew up in a cave, you probably don't know what yada 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 means or what yada 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 signifies. But I'm going to tell you, yada 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 is something most of us would kill for. We would lie, cheat, and steal for. Men have gone to war for yada yada yada. And if you don't know what yada 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 is, I'm not going to tell you. There's some things in life you need to learn yourself. I've started watching Seinfeld episodes. I didn't really watch it in the first run. And I'm going to tell you, they're good episodes. They're well written, and they hold up over time. And they're on Tubi, so they're free. Lots of free Seinfeld to yada, yada, yada it up with. And then the 23rd of July is also special to me for another reason, because once upon a time, somebody yada, yada, yada'd, and the end result is something I yada, yada, yada. It's the 23rd of July, and I'm going to sneeze. Came out like Michael Jackson at the end there. That was not intentional. That was a sideways sneeze. I got to be careful with that. You could tear something. Isn't that right, Doc? Here we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I can work with that. Wednesday, July 24th, it's National Tell an Old Joke Day. I love old jokes. I love dad jokes. I love jokes. I like anything designed with the intention of bringing humor and laughter into the world. These are my things. These are the things that I connect to. My dad, bless his soul, was a master joke teller. He knew every joke that was ever told. He knew them all. All the bad jokes. All of the bad jokes. All of the jokes that start like this. Except he didn't do that. He didn't care. He would tell the joke. He didn't care who was listening. That was what he did. And then he got old. And I don't like it when people get old. Kids, parents, I don't like anybody getting old. Just get to an age you're comfortable with and hold. 35 would have been good for me. If I could have held there, I'd still be good. But I tell you that to tell you this. My dad was a joke encyclopedia. He knew every dirty joke ever told. He had no problem telling them. He was a very funny man until he got older and his memory started to slip. And then every joke had the same punchline. I can't do it justice without saying the foul word, but I'm going to replace the word. Oh, frog. How did that go? Would be the punchline to every joke that he told as he got older. He just couldn't remember the punchlines, and he would say, oh, frog. How did that go? That is the 24th of July, National Tell an Old Joke Day. Moving on. All right. I have to see them. I have to make a decision, see if I could do something with it, and then go on. Thursday, July 25th, is National Wine and Cheese Day. Oh, find yourself a pleasant pairing of wines and cheeses and devour them on Thursday, July 25th. National Wine and Cheese Day. I don't pair anything with wine. You know, a wine is supposed to pair with things, but I don't. I'm not a good wine drinker. Let me rephrase. I'm a very good wine drinker. I'm just not an educated wine drinker. I don't know the fancy words that they use when they talk about it. I taste it and I'm like, oh, that's sweet. That's not sweet. That's semi-sweet. That's all I know is the word sweet. And I drink it. And when I lived in Italy, I drank so much of it. There's no need to pair when you have quantity. Everything tastes better with wine. If it tastes bad, 4 or 5 sips in, it tastes better. And it gets progressively better. And if you're going to do a cheese pairing, make it like horrible cheese. Like put out a charcuterie board with a bunch of really obnoxious cheeses on them, and then get a box. Don't get a bottle. A bottle of wine is 4 glasses, okay? Who's got time for 4 glasses? Get you some cardboard day. Okay? Get you some Bago. Get the big old wine box and get the horrible cheeses, and then drink until the cheese tastes good. On Thursday, July 25th, National Wine and Cheese Day. You still with me over there? No, nobody over there. Okay. Running 2 cameras at the same time. We're going to do this one because I do this all the time. All the time. I don't wait for a special day. Friday, July 26th, is National Talk in an Elevator Day. That's right. Everyone gets in the elevator is silent. Maybe an excuse me, maybe a very polite, excuse me, B please, you know. No one talks in an elevator. And when you do talk in the elevator, people look at you weird. When I was in Shanghai, I had been shanghaied. I was in the Pearl of the Orient, and I'm me. I was about 100 pounds lighter, but still way more than anybody there. And I'm in the back of the elevator, and there's a bunch of Chinese people right at about chin level. The chins. They're all below me. It's my shoulders and head above everyone else in the elevator. And it's packed full of little Chinese people. And just as the door gets ready to close, one more skinny little Chinese dude slips in, and the bells and the whistles and the alarms go off. And I took the opportunity of a lifetime to let everyone on the elevator know it was the skinny little man that set off the alarm, not me. He did it, not me. But I always talk in the elevator. Hello, hi, how are you? Manners, can't go wrong with that, right? Politeness, can I get a floor for you? And if no one else is talking, then we used to have these things called elevator operators. The elevator, at one time in our history as human beings, was such a complicated device that we paid someone to stand in the elevator and make it go up and stop it and open the door and announce to you what floor you were on. 4th floor, women's jewelry, men's underwear, children's shoes. They would do that all day long. That was their job, to stand in an elevator and to take it from floor to floor. And people would get on the elevator, and he would stop at every floor because you never knew if there was somebody. I think they became bells. And then they eventually replaced them with buttons. But if you find yourself in an elevator on Friday, July 26th, take a moment to say hello and celebrate National Talk in an Elevator Day along with me. Moving on. It is... Oh, yeah. Okay, dear. All right. I don't know enough about that. I don't know nothing about that. That's not happening. That's not happening. So we're left with this one. ChatGPT gives me 4 options. I'm going to tell you, live audience, what I chose not to go with. Okay. I chose not to go with Walk on Stilts Day, because that ain't happening. I chose not to go with Barbie in a Blender Day, because I don't know anything about it, but it's apparently a real thing. I also chose not to go with Take Your House Plants for a Walk Day, because that should put you in a mental institution. Instead, Saturday, July 27th, it's National Scotch Day. Not Scottish, no, Scotch. The whiskey that's got a different flavor to it. That if you mix with milk, tastes like butterscotch. True story. Found that out at an early age. I broke into Daddy's liquor cabinet and I tasted the liquid inside the liquor cabinet, and it was bad. It was bad. It was not good. So in my 5-year-old brain, I decided to add a little milk to it, and the flavor was the same. The hangover, not recommended. 5-year-olds should not drink, for the record. There's a legal drinking age for a reason. 21 seems reasonable. 5, not so much. Along with being a bad wine drinker, I am also, society is broken. Along with being a bad wine drinker, I'm also a bad scotch drinker. Again, I can drink the scotch, but I don't know the terminologies and the methodology and the lineage and the ancestry. I don't know any of that. I don't know the difference between a 12 and a 16-year-old, and that, as soon as I said that, that sounded really bad. I definitely know the difference between a 12 and a 16-year-old, but when it comes to aging and barrels and time and temperature, I don't care. Give me some of that good old scotch, and pour some milk on it, and That is Saturday, July 27th, National Scotch Day. And finally, next Sunday, why not? We'll go with this. Sunday, July 28th, it's National Chocolate Milk Day. Now, chocolate milk has been making a resurgence, a comeback, and much like the wine and the scotch, I am not a good milk drinker. Again, not true. I know I drink the milks, baby. I drink a lot of milk, and if you got a brown cow around, I'll drink the brown cow's milk too. My favorite Yakov Smirnoff joke ever told. I come to America, I milk bull. When you milk bull, they become your friend for life. I don't have any other Yakov Smirnoff jokes to tell you. I can tell you he's a great American. He's a former Russian. He's a great American. And if you want to see him, go to Branson, because he's got his own club there. In Branson, Tennessee, Yakov Smirnoff experience. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about brown cows, man. Because only brown cows make chocolate milk. Isn't that what we told ourselves as youngins? But we could never explain strawberry milk. I like my milk plain. Virgin. I like virgin milk. And here in Amish adjacent country, I live near the Wayback people. And the Wayback people like to sell milk that has all of the fruits and juices still inside it. Oh, my milk's got a little red in it. I wonder what that is. It's because it's from an animal. That's why it's got a little red, and it's got some bumps and seeds and hair. I don't know. They do Branson, Tennessee, not Branson. Okay. All right, fact checker James. I even changed up my graphic for you because of you, and then I just didn't upload it. So I'm in the middle of computers, so that's causing some confusion. Anyway, you distracted me long enough. It's Sunday, July 28th, National Milk Chocolate Day. And the year is flying by, man. The year is almost over. I'm break now to go into the community comedy and charity event notes. We've been talking about the Animals Are Us. Again, there's an additional $1,000 prize for people who buy their tickets before August the 1st. So animals, not a hashtag, hyphen, or what we in the military would call TAC. Animals, TAC, R, TAC, us.org, or animals, hyphen, R, hyphen, us.org. Go on there, buy your tickets early. You could get 5 of them for $100. That's a great deal. That's only $20 a piece, or you can buy them individually. It's $25 a piece. Every ticket that you buy increases your chances of winning the $15,000 grand prize. Cash, cold hard cash, baby. And then $7,500 and $5,000 and $1,000. That's all there. It's all available to you on animalsrus.org with the hyphens in between R and us. They're doing great things. And if you want to get in on that extra early bird special, you need to do that now. You need to buy your tickets now online at animals-r-us. Now, I didn't want to do that, but at the same time, the deadline's coming up, so I didn't want to not do that. I will tell you that this coming weekend at the Comedy Zone in Harrisburg, I really want you to show out. I want you to come out. Come out and join us. It is the semifinal rounds of the Harrisburg's Funniest Competition. We've already gone through, all of the comedians one time around. Now we've eliminated everyone with the exception of the final 5 from each of the first 4 rounds. It's $10, and if $10 is going to break your bank, don't worry about it. You can watch the Warno. You can look at past episodes of the Warno, and you can find out how you can get in for free. I will pay for your entrance to the Comedy Zone for you and your betrothed and your beloved and your mistress. Bring them all. We'll get them in to the Comedy Zone. That's this Friday and this Saturday, 110 Lime Kiln Road in New Cumberland. It's exit 40B off Interstate 83 in the great state of Pennsylvania. Can't miss it. It's inside the Boomerang Hotel, Casino, Resort, and Lodge. It's a great time. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. So that's Friday and Saturday, the semifinal rounds of the Harrisburg's Funniest competition. So come on out. Let's have a good time and party together. That is your comedy and charity, no community note for this week. Now let's move on to the fan favorite portion of the show. I don't know why you wrote Idaho with a question mark. I don't know why, but that's an old joke I love to tell. Oh, he's so, and the great thing about him is his comments represent the entire family. I got somebody back over here on the TikToks. I had to make an apology earlier, and the person I wanted to apologize to had already left. So I will apologize to him again. Yes, it was an Outback Steakhouse, but it also used to be a steakhouse called something else, but it had a very Western feel, like Desperados or something like that, a long time ago. I'm sure you would remember. All right, let's get some water in my mouth hole. Idaho. Here we go with your This Week in History trivia style. The goal, as always, is to get 7 questions correct. There's 7 multiple choice questions set to medium. And our goal every week is to get to 7. You keep your own score. I am neither judge nor jury, but I may make comments. If you're a known offender, a repeat offender for changing your answer, I may make a comment. Here we go. Question number 1 of 7. On July 16th, 1945, the United States detonated the first atomic bomb in which New Mexico desert test site? July 16th, 1945, the United States exploded the first atomic weapon ever. We did it in New Mexico in a desert test range. What was the name of the desert test range? Here are your options. Was it Sandia? In the sand, that'd be fun. Was it Trinity? Was it Los Alamos? Or was it Roswell? These are your options for question number 1. Sandia, Trinity, Los Alamos, or Roswell. Mr. Taney pops in with Trinity as his answer. I see some other viewers out there, so I'll give you a chance. All right. White Sands, that's funny. It's not even an option, but it's still funny. And James, have the family log in and play along so they can answer. Instead of just shouting the answers to you, they can plug in their own answers. Again, it's July 16th, 1945. The United States detonates the first atomic weapon. What was the weapon, the atomic weapon? Where was it done? The options you have are Sandia, Trinity, Los Alamos, or Roswell. I am with Mr. Taney on this. I believe the desert site's name was Trinity. Question number 2. It doesn't look like we have a lot of live viewers today, so I'm not going to pause as long as I would normally do. So if you want to answer, answer. If you don't want to answer, don't answer. But the elongated pauses, giving you time to answer, I'm not going to do today. Question number 2. What U.S. amusement park opened on July 1st, 1955, changing theme parks forever? What U.S. amusement park opened on July 17th, 1955, changing theme parks forever? Here are your options. Was it Six Flags, Universal Studios, Disneyland, or Cedar Point? What U.S. amusement park opened on July 17th, 1955, changing theme parks forever? Was it Six Flags, Universal Studios, Disneyland, or Cedar Point? James has got his answer with Florida one. Yeah, I believe that a bunch of converted swampland in July 17, 1955 was Disney. I thought it was Disney World. But I believe the answer is Disney. Whether it's World or Land is confusing to me because I've been to both, and I thought it was Disney World. No. Disney World's on the West Coast. Disneyland is in Florida. I'm going with Disneyland. James is going with Disneyland, the Florida one. Moving on. Question number 3. Apollo 11 launched from the Kennedy Space Center on July 16th, 1969. Who stayed in the command module? So, little history lesson there about Apollo 11. It was the first time humans walked on the moon. There are 3 people on the spacecraft that goes to the moon. Only 2 of them are allowed to go out and play. Now, you may know their names, but do you know the name of the person who had to stay? Imagine traveling 250,000 miles to your destination, and then Dad says, stay in the car. And then 250,000 miles back. That should be a very angry person. Here are your options. Was it Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Buzz Aldrin, or Jim Lovell? In reverse order, Jim Lovell, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, or Neil Armstrong. Who was the one man who was told to stay in the car when they got to the moon? James pops in before he heard the multiple choice answers with Chris Collins. Now that he's heard his multiple choice answers, I'm sure he's going to correct his answer to what is the correct answer, Michael Collins. Little known fact, that poor guy went all the way to the moon and wasn't even allowed to go outside and play. Question number 4. What infamous French event began on July 14th, 1789? Now, when it comes to French events that are infamous, there's not many of them. When I read you your multiple choice options, it should be pretty easy to figure out which one of these. Yes, Jim Lovell was the commander of Apollo 11, correct. What French event began on July 14th, 1789? If you're up on your Broadway plays, you know this one. Was it the storming of Versailles, Napoleon's coup, the storming of the Bastille, or the French Declaration of Rights? So you got 2 stormings. Was it the storming of the Bastille or the storming of Versailles? I've been close to Versailles, but I've never gone there. And I don't even know where Bastille is. Napoleon's coup or the French Declaration of Rights? Revolution is what Mr. Taney is talking about on Bastille Day. And I agree with him. I agree that July 14th is referred to as Bastille Day and still celebrated to this day. Question number 5. Which iconic musician passed away on July 16th, 1981? Probably don't know. Iconic musician that passed away on July 16th, 1981. You don't know. But if I told you he was known for a hit called A Blueberry Hill, would that help you answer the question? I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Here are your options. Was it Little Richard? Was it Fats Domino? Was it Harry Chapin? Or was it Nat King Cole? What iconic musician passed away on July 16th, 1981, known for his hits like A Blueberry Hill. Looking for your answers. Looking for your answers. My answer, I'm giving it in advance because I'm not waiting around. I got things to do today. Yes, again, me and Mr. Taney agree. It looks like we have the option of going 7 for 7. It looks like we could do it. Let's find out. I agree. Fats Domino sang a Blueberry Hill. Question number 6. On July 20th, 1976, what NASA spacecraft successfully landed on Mars? Yes, we landed on Mars for the first time on July 20th, 1976. It's not just that the people at NASA enjoyed their summertime fun. There's a lot to do with where NASA is in July in relation to the moon and the Mars. You see a lot of these first-time things happening in July. Well, that's the reason, because that's as close as we could get at that time when that launch occurred. July 20th, 1976, what NASA spacecraft successfully landed on Mars? Anybody over there know? No. Was it Curiosity, Voyager, Viking 1, or Pathfinder? Uh-oh. I may have spoken too soon about going 7 for 7. It's July 20th. It's 1976. NASA spacecraft successfully landed on the moon. I'm pretty sure Voyager is still voyaging. Pathfinder is an option. Curiosity, I really feel like was a lot later than 1976. Viking 1, I don't think landed anywhere either. Oh my goodness. I'm going to let Mr. Taney, he made a joke there with the Mars rover. That's hilarious. Curiosity would be a great one. That'd be a great name. He's going with Pathfinder, and I think that is the correct answer. But, I mean, if I just keep taking, I don't think I am going with Pathfinder. That's it. I'm going with Pathfinder. He's going with Pathfinder. We will most assuredly, we will hang together, or we will most assuredly hang separately. We're in it to win it. It's Viking or Pathfinder. Viking 1, which leads you to believe that there was more than one Viking. Voyager is definitely a probe, a deep space probe. It's not Voyager. Curiosity, I'm pretty sure, landed in the 2000s. And you're right. It's either Viking 1 or Pathfinder. I'm going to stick with Pathfinder. Finally, the last question of the supplemental. And thanks for joining us, by the way. July 18th. And again, if anybody sees Stacy, tell him I'm sorry. I wasn't yelling at him. I was just yelling. That's something I find myself saying a lot. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling. I'm not mad. I'm just loud. July 18th, 1966, saw the release of which classic surf-themed album by the Beach Boys? July 18th, 1966, saw the release of what classic surf-themed album by the Beach Boys? Here are your options. Was it Surfin' Safari? Was it Endless Summer? Was it Surf's Up? Or was it Pet Sounds? These are your options. July 18th, 1966, the Beach Boys released a surf-themed album. What was its name? Only one of them is a song that I know, and it seems appropriate that it would be on that album. So I have my answer. My answer's locked in. Feel free to give me your answer whenever you're ready. Again, your options for July 18th, 1966, Beach Boys released this album. Was it Surfin' Safari, Endless Summer, Surf's Up, or Pet Sounds? It's for Pet Sounds. No, it's not Pet Sounds. Answers, please. I have to type in because I don't know the answers either until I give it that. Mr. Taney has chosen answer number A, Surfin' Safari. I agree with him. I also believe it is Surfin' Safari. Pet Sounds was an actual album? That's hilarious. Here we go with the answers for today's This Week in History trivia style quiz. Answer number 1 was Trinity. Good job. Answer number 2 was Disneyland. Answer number 3, Michael Collins. Answer number 4, getting more and more excited, was the storming of the Bastille. Question number 5. What the heck? All right. I don't like when ChatGPT gets a little sassy, okay? Here's the answer it gave us for question number 5. What iconic musician passed away on July 16th, 1981? For some reason, I guess it was listening in, it gave me an X. It says Harry Chapin. He died that day in a car crash. This was a trick question. Fats Domino did not die in 1981. He died in 2017. So the correct answer, based on the question's wording, is actually Harry Chapin. I will scold ChatGPT for that. Don't do that again. Don't give me trick questions, bitch. So we got that wrong. But I, being the judge and the jury, regardless of what was previously stated, I waive that question. You could still have a perfect score if you got that one wrong, which we all did, because we all said Fats Domino. On Blueberry Hill. Not Harry Chapin, who I don't even know. Don't even know who that is, so how can that person be iconic? Question number 6. The answer, neither of us chose. The answer was Viking 1. It was not Pathfinder. And the final question of the day, Mr. Taney knew the answers, or no. Again, you keep your own score. I know I got this wrong, and there's no way around wording it. The iconic album released by the Beach Boys on July 18th, 1966 was called Pet Sounds. Yeah, I did horrible this week, and I thought I was doing really, really good, and then I wasn't because of a trick question and because I didn't know those answers. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, once again, as always, thanks for playing along. We have a fun time every Sunday morning, and this Sunday is no different. So I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love. A new episode of the LUNSB Show is recorded later today. In the meantime,